Welcome to Sail Ho, Croatia. Our travels down the Croatian coast are nearing the end. In this episode, we will explore one of the most beautiful towns in Istria, Novigrad. We'll visit the small towns of Tar and Vabriga and finish off the finale of the season with the northernmost town of Istria, Umag. Stay with us. In the past, the center of life in Novigrad was the town harbor, the popular Mandrač. Today, it still has a unique Mediterranean charm. The historic core of the city was completely enclosed by the walls, which are still one of the city's symbols today. Novigrad Vista is dominated by the bell tower of the parish church of St. Pelagius and St. Maxim, which was a cathedral until 1831. In the contemporary building of the Lapidarium Museum, there are monuments and collections of the Novigrad Lapidarium. In the center of Novigrad, there is a neo-Gothic building built in 1920s, in Venetian Gothic style. A typical example of the Central European Baroque, the Patrician Palace was built in about 1760 and was a home to the patrician family Rigo. Novigrad is really special for its beautifully colored facades. Well-groomed gardens and parks full of colorful flowers can be encountered at almost every step. We visited the Museum of the Austro-Hungarian Navy, Galerion, which, with its interesting exhibits, tells us about the time when the peoples of the Austro-Hungarian Empire were the world's largest sailing superpower. Ship models from 1750s to 1890s are exhibited on the ground floor, with models of sailboats, ships with mixed hull, and vessels that had lost their sails as a main drive. In a few showcases, one can observe all the battleships, cruisers, destroyers, torpedoes, submarines and ships of the Imperial and Royal Navy, which existed and sailed from 1914 to 1918, even models of ships which were designed but never built. The collection includes a variety of maritime, nautical and medical instruments, maps as well as traveling souvenirs from around the world, especially from the Far East. Flags of all navies present in the Adriatic Sea throughout history also occupy a special place in the exhibition. The most famous variety of white wine in Istria is Malvasia. Malvasia is dry wine, golden yellow, fruity, with strong aroma and high alcohol content, about 12%. The sweet Malvasia is an excellent dessert wine, specific for its subtle aroma, reminiscent of acacia flower buds, especially if the grapes are from higher, well-moistened areas. Fruit aromas are mostly dominated by the taste of apples, plums and apricots, and when the wine is a bit older, it is possible to taste the lightly bitter aroma of almonds. Apart from its wines, Istria is also known for premium extra virgin olive oils. We visited an olive mill known for its premium olive oils, which is a regular winner of gold medals and the highest honors at world competitions. The olive grove has 1,200 trees, and all the harvest is done exclusively by hand, avoiding the damage to the fruit and the olive tree itself. The fruits are processed in oil the same day, ensuring the highest quality olive oil. Coquille Saint-Jacques scallops, or as they are called here, capechante, are considered as one of the most delicious shells in the world because of the mixing of salty seawater with fresh river water in the Novigrad aquatorium. At the recently opened small modern hotel, they serve top gastronomic delicacies of the highest quality Istrian produce. There's, of course, an unavoidable pasta with truffles. Of course, in this ambience, with this beautiful food, Istrian Malvasia white wine is the best companion. Tar and Vabriga, two places, one settlement. Today, Tar and Vabriga, spreading one toward the other, became one settlement. The economy of Tar-Vabriga is mainly related to tourism, both through the tourism resort of Lanterna and renting of private accommodation. A specific way of fishing in Tarska Valley is done the same way it has been done throughout millennia. Innumerable documents, which most often speak of Porridge Bishop's right to fish, stand as evidence to this. The net encloses the whole bay, encircling the fish. Then the net, which is up to 2 kilometers long, is pulled to the end. Fish, most commonly sea bass and pike, swim to the bay, where fresh water of River Mirna is mixed with seawater. The other fishing bay is Santa Marina, and it belongs to Fabrigiani. Fishing boats sail out in the evening to the open sea, throwing the nets, hopefully drawing the fish out the next morning. In this bay, there's also a shellfish farm. As well as a restaurant with a picnic area. Classical music concerts take place in the summer at the parish church of St. Martin in Tar. Rich in beautiful paintings and sculptures of saints. Traveling through Istria, you will come across farm estates called Stancija. It is a traditional rural estate with houses and buildings where people once lived and produced their food. We visited one such estate in the vicinity of Tar, where a beautifully renovated old residence is also a tavern and a sheep and dairy farm. In addition to several types of cheese, such as sheep, cow, mixed with truffles, at the tavern you can taste delicious game sausages and prosciutto. Istrian prosciutto is an authentic Istrian dry curd product, one of many delectable Croatian autochthonous products. The important influence of the local area is one of the few specific details needed for making of this fine prosciutto, along with a special selection of the raw material and the production itself, of course. It differs from Dalmatian prosciutto in the technological process of production because the ham is air-dried without smoking. The bleeding is reduced as well as its energy value. Goat cheese curd with truffles and Istrian prosciutto make an excellent cold appetizer. As a warm appetizer, we chose a mix of traditional Istrian specialties: stuffed mushrooms with minced truffles and red wine Taran, Istrian pasta blukanci with asparagus, stuffed fuji pasta with asparagus on a bed of truffles, and ravioli stuffed with cheese and prosciutto. We do feel rather full and satisfied, but that didn't stop us peering into a kitchen where the main dish is being prepared. Another Istrian specialty, boshkarin, an indigenous Istrian ox. We rounded up this feast with a very interesting dessert, an ice cream in Aperol with orange pieces. Crazy delicious! As we reach the northernmost town of Istria, Umag, we'll first visit the ACI Marina and our wonderful hosts in no less than traditional costumes with the most special welcome of folk dancers. There's no concern in preservation of this tradition, as children are included in the folklore from the earliest age. The marina has 475 berths. It receives mega yachts of up to 40 meters in length and has been a proud bearer of the blue flag for the last 14 years, which is a guarantee of the immaculate purity and cleanliness of the sea. In 2007 and 2008, ACI Marina Umag was proclaimed as the best marina on the Croatian side of the Adriatic. Since the immediate vicinity of Umag is a home to some of the finest Croatian wines, accompanied by a superior gastronomic offer, the ACI Marina Umag is an ideal starting point for all sailors looking for tasty experiences. Umag has long been a favorite summer resort of Roman nobility. The luster and glamour of these old times can still be felt in Venetian houses, which make up the Old Core. The Old Town was built on the island on the foundations of Roman archaeological remains. The old Romans had already declared it their retreat and connected it to the land. City walls were built around the city in the 10th century, with a city gate and a movable bridge. Some remains of the wall are still preserved at the southwest side. At the entrance to the old centre is the Church of St. Roch, built after the plague epidemic in the 16th century. The parish church is located on the Umag main square, guarding many relics and finds that testify of the long history and tradition of Umag. The Venetian lion on the bell tower was originally located on a city palace, which was destroyed in the 1924 fire. The bell tower is 33 meters high. Behind the bell tower, there is a city water tank, which was once the main source of drinking water for the whole city. This area is specific and unique for the mixing of the Alpine and Mediterranean climate. So in the summer, there is no great heat, and the nights are very comfortable for sleeping. Umag is best known for its famous tennis tournament, which has traditionally been taking place in the center of Stella Maris for over 20 years. Within the center of Stella Maris, there are also beautifully landscaped beaches. All the beaches here are proud bearers of the blue flag, indicating the highest cleanliness and purity of the sea. There is a water park for the children, so parents can also take a bit of a break. There are also the unavoidable beach volleyball courts and catering facilities. At the westernmost tip of Savudrija, there is the famous Savudrijan Lighthouse. It is 36 meters high and was built in 1818 under the patronage of Austrian Emperor Franz I. This was the first lighthouse in the world to burn gas from coal distillation. The lighthouse worker with a family resides here, making sure everything is running smoothly, and it is possible to rent the apartment within the lighthouse. Batana Salvarina is a project of making wooden boats by the specific and unique technique that has been used since ancient times and has almost extinct. In the world of shipbuilding, the boat is always made by first constructing the skeletons and afterwards plating, while the batanas are built in the reverse way. First plating is done and then the ribs are added. The actual blueprint design of the batana doesn't exist, and the knowledge and the technique of making is transmitted from father to son, and for this reason the batana length varies from 3.8 to 4.3 meters. Another specific feature is that local people installed the glass some 100 years ago in the hull of the boat with the aim of fishing under the stars, and a fogo with the aid of gas lanterns. Night fishing a fogo is a special fishing technique at night, where fish are hunted with an aid of the light. It is time for some of the best Istrian gastronomy. This tuna fish carpaccio is the most perfect thing we've seen and tasted. The wasabi sauce gives it a special hot kick and flavor. The fish soup with shrimp is typical of this region. We are giving in to this dessert to help us gather all the impressions of this perfect day in Istria. We can say that Istria has confirmed its status as the Queen of Gastronomy and the top tourist destination. With this blissfully happy, full and content feeling, we end this season of Sail Ho Croatia. Until we meet again.